Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to you on this Wednesday morning, y'all. It is Wednesday, February the 7th, 2024. And I want to welcome you to Purpose Journey Counseling, LLC, Locked In. We are locked in 2024. We are grateful to be here on this morning, this new day, this new opportunity of new mercy and grace from God. We are just grateful, grateful, grateful. My name is Dr. Natatu North, and I'm the owner and therapist of Purpose Journey Counseling, LLC, which is located in Cincinnati, Ohio. So it is 7 a.m. It is 7 a.m. and we are live. We're live on Facebook, we're live on YouTube, and we are live on XXXXX, formerly known as Twitter, and the YouTube link for this broadcast is posted on Instagram. So whether you're watching us at 7 a.m. live or you catch us later in the day, later in the week, later in the month, or even later in the year, it's all good. We welcome you. And we still ask that everyone just take a few moments, to like this broadcast. Please like our pages on your preferred platform. Please follow us on your preferred platform. We do ask that everyone please just subscribe to our YouTube channel. Even if you don't typically watch us on YouTube, it's okay. But we do ask that you subscribe to our YouTube channel and please share this video. Sharing is caring. Sharing is caring. And these messages that we do are meant to touch everyone and anyone. So we do ask that you please share. And let's also interact and engage in the comment section. So 2 numbers. I do this all the time. 2 numbers can save your life, can save someone else's life. Please make sure you have these numbers. The first one is for the National Suicide Prevention Hotline. That number is 1-800-273-8255. Again, that's 1-800-273-8255. This number is 24/7. So make sure you have it. Again, like I said, it can save your life. It could save someone else's life. Please make sure you have this number. And the second number is for the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. That number is 988. Again, it's 988. That number is 24/7 as well. And you can also text the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, 988. So please make sure you have those 2 numbers stored in your phones. Again, it could save, I'm going to say it again, it could save your life. It could save someone else's life. So let's just make sure we have these numbers available. Thank you so very much. So again, it is February. So I want to say Happy Black History Month. We are celebrating all year. I just want to say that. But no, we're celebrating all year. But we definitely take February. So we set February aside to make sure that we are celebrating Black History Month. And our February theme for Purpose Journey Counseling, LLC, Locked In for 2024 is love. So we're going to be combining these 2 things. We're going to be looking at both throughout the month of February. But I do want to say Happy Black History Month. And again, announce if you missed our podcast on Sunday, you need to watch it. Go back on our pages. Maybe I'll just do a replay. Go back and watch it, okay? Go back and watch it. It was really, really good. But our theme is love. So everything we do in the month of February is going to be in and around the theme of love. So it is Wednesday. We know it's Wednesday. So on Wednesday, we do have our Wellness Wednesdays. And with the theme of love, what we're going to be talking about for our Wellness Wednesday is self-love. Yes, we have to start with self-love. We're going to start there. We talked about self-care in the month of January. And so we're going to self-love as we talk about the theme of love. We're talking about love. We're going to first talk about loving ourselves. So first statement is God is love. God is love. God created us. So we were created with love, in love, by love. If you think about that, that's how we were created. But let's face it, sometimes it's very, very difficult to love ourselves. Sometimes we're not sure if we even like ourselves, let alone love ourselves. But I know we've all heard it. You can't love someone else if you don't love yourself. And loving yourself is more than just saying, I love myself. I love Natatu. I love me. It's more than that. It is shown in how I treat myself. How am I showing myself that I love myself? Like we talk about loving other people. Oh, well, you say you love me, but you don't act like you do. I can't tell you really love me. It's not, your actions are not evidence of the love you are speaking that you have for me. Well, it's the same thing with self. We can say all day that we love ourselves, but we sometimes don't take care of ourselves. We sometimes are not doing the things we need to do to show ourselves love. A lot of the things about, one of the biggest concepts I'm going to say about self-love is what we speak, the things that we say to ourselves. What are you speaking to yourself? What types of things are you saying to yourself? Are the words that you are using towards you evidence of love? Excuse me, evidence of love? Are they evidence of judgment? Are they evidence of self-loathing? Are they evidence of, you know what, maybe I really kind of don't love myself, or maybe I kind of don't, I'm not showing the fruits of that love and what I'm saying to myself, how I'm treating myself. So on this morning, as we're talking about self-love, I want us to really think about that. How do we treat ourselves? Just me. How do I treat Natatu? How am I treating Natatu? Am I breasting? Am I saying things to myself that are mean? Am I mean to me? Am I mean to myself? Am I taking care of my physical health, my mental health, my emotional health, and my spiritual health? We talk about all four of those being connected. We talk about wholeness in all of those areas. Am I feeding my spirit what it needs to be fed? Am I spending time with God? Am I doing my devotions? And not just, oh, let me just cross that off my list as I've had devotion with God. No, am I communing with God? Am I actually spending time with God and allowing him to pour into my spirit? Because especially I pour into people all day. But if I'm empty, I can't pour. You know, am I taking care of my emotional health, my mental health? Am I focusing on those things, my physical health? What am I consuming? What am I putting in my body? Yes, food and otherwise. What am I watching? What am I spending my time doing? What does my thought life look like? Self-love is a very, very broad concept. It encompasses a lot. It really does. But we have to really get this, like, really, really well. We have to get this. And mastering self-love, you know, sometimes we could be doing very well with it, and at other times it could leave much to be desired. It could be. Would I say that we get to a point where we probably completely master it? I don't know. We might get pretty close, but we all have our moments. We all have our moments. But the point is not to say, okay, we're always going to be perfect at this thing. It's always going to look right. Absolutely not. That's not even the goal. The goal is that we learn how to do it, and that we do it effectively, efficiently, and we do it most of the time. Like, we're actually consistent in showing ourselves love. So we start off by saying God is love. God is love. God is love. God created us. So we were created in love, by love, with love. We were created with that. So God does love us. Even when we feel unlovable by other people, or even sometimes we think God may not love us because of the things that we've done, the mistakes that we've made, but God does love us. God truly does. He really, really loves you in spite of yourself, in spite of your flaws, in spite of everything that you've done. So when God loves you, the goal is to try to love ourselves as Christ loved us. And it's hard because sometimes we can even, if we're honest, we're like, God, man, I don't even understand how you could put up with me because I do some stuff. But love is unconditional. Love is unconditional. Love is not based off of act or just what you can do for me, what I can get from you. True love is unconditional. And the greatest example of unconditional love is Christ's love for us. So as we're talking about self-love and how to show ourselves love, I want you to really think about this. How can you show yourself more love in what you're speaking to yourself, how you're treating yourself? You can't treat other people well and treat yourself poorly. It does not work that way. It starts with us. It starts with how we deal with ourselves. We have to understand this concept. I say it all the time. You know, we're very, very focused because we're taught, and it's not that it's wrong, but we're taught that it's better to give than to receive. We're supposed to do for other people. Give, 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 give. do. And the next thing you know, we've given ourselves nothing and we can't do anything. We wonder why we're depleted. We wonder why we're struggling to show up for other people. It's because sometimes we've not shown up for ourselves. We've not shown ourselves that love. We've not focused enough on ourselves to be able to do anything for anyone else. I need to make sure that I'm well. You know, like I've used this example before. We hear it all the time. You get on a plane, put on your own face mask before you put on someone else's. Why? Because you can't go saving them, because you might perish. You might not make it. If I'm so worried about you, I got to make sure I can breathe before I can make sure you can. It's not selfish. It's not selfish. It's actually necessary, because one is contingent upon each other. We need each other, absolutely. But I'm of no good to you if I'm of no good to myself. If I'm not taking care of myself, if I'm not showing myself love, I cannot show you love, because I don't even know what it looks like. I don't know what it feels like. I haven't even experienced it for myself personally. If I'm not making sure that I'm doing it, I'm not talking about, oh, well, if other people love me. No, being able to love myself, even if I'm not sure if anyone else does. Understanding that God loved me first. God loves me the most. So that in itself should be encouragement and empowerment. I know some people may not feel like God loves them, but he does. It doesn't matter what you've done. He still loves you. He created you. He created you in his image to be like him, knowing that we were going to struggle with that. Just think about that. God created us in his image to be like him, knowing we were going to struggle with it, but he still did it anyway. If that's not love, I don't know what love is. I don't know what kind of God would create you to be like him, knowing you were going to struggle with it and not look like him a lot of the time, but yet and still he created you just for that. So self-love. We're starting off, this theme of love for our Wellness Wednesdays was self-love. We have to start with self. God is love. We were created in love, by love, with love. God loved us first, but we've got to be able to show ourselves love and understanding what that looks like. And let's just start with what we're speaking to ourselves. It's a big concept. It takes a lot of time, but I just want us to start. Let's focus. Let's lock in on just what are the words you're speaking to yourself? How are you treating yourself just in what you say to yourself? And I'm not just speaking of affirmations. I'm just speaking in general. What kind of stuff are you saying to yourself? What words do you use when you describe yourself? Do they radiate love? Do they embody love? Or is it judgment? Are we condemning ourselves? Are we living in the past with ourselves? We've forgiven everyone else for what they've done, but we haven't forgiven ourselves for the mistakes we've made. Self-love, people. Self-love. So that is our Wellness Wednesday for this Wednesday, February the 7th. So we're very appreciative of you joining this morning. I just want to remind you, we do have our Wellness Wednesdays every Wednesday at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We also have our monthly podcast, #From a Christian, #From a Therapist with Dr. Natatu, on the first Sundays of the month, live at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we had our first podcast actually of the year this past Sunday. It was awesome. And because of the everything, it was just so amazing. We are actually going to have part 2. So we did say this on Sunday, but I'm going to say it again. Our episode 18 will be Sunday, March the 3rd, 2024 at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So mark your calendars. On March the 3rd, we will have part 2. Probably going to have to throw on a replay of that podcast. So hint, probably have a replay going on. We are going to have part 2 of Together Forever Together. It was my husband and I talking about marriage from a Christian monogamous perspective. Yes, Christian monogamous perspective. Had to say that because I just want people to understand what context we're speaking from. So please mark your calendars. We are very, very excited about, I always say this, but because I am, about all the things that God is doing through Purpose Journey Counseling LLC, locked in for 24. So we're just grateful. We're very grateful. So please plan to join us on March the 3rd for that. So our tag for Purpose Journey Counseling, want to share with you every time we spend time together, is to be loving, be kind, be compassionate, and be intentional towards others as well as towards yourselves. Again, we appreciate you. We thank you so much for joining us this morning or whenever you catch this Wellness Wednesday. We speak blessings and peace over you. Lord willing, we will see you next week, next Wednesday, for Wellness Wednesday Live at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday. Be blessed, be safe, and blessings and love to each and every one of you.